You ever wonder if it's possible to cheat death? I don't just mean living a little bit longer, but to actually turn back the clock and become young again? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? Well, today we're diving into the incredible true story of a creature that has somehow unlocked one of nature's most mind-bending secrets. So let's just get right to it with the big one. Is biological immortality actually possible? And I'm not talking philosophy here. We're talking pure biology. Can a living thing really, truly escape the inevitable? You know, for pretty much every living thing on this planet, the rules are simple. They're unbreakable. You're born, you grow up, you reproduce, and then, eventually, your body breaks down and you die. It's this fundamental, straight line that defines what it means to be alive. But what if I told you there's an exception? A creature that found a loophole in the absolute laws of life and death. I want you to meet Turritopsis nutricula. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful. But this tiny, pretty, unassuming jellyfish has a superpower that makes it one of the most remarkable animals on Earth. Because when it's faced with old age, or injury, or stress, it doesn't just die. It hits rewind. Okay, so check this out. This really lays out just how radical this is. On the left, you've got the standard playbook for life, right? Birth, growth, reproduction, and then game over, death. But now, look at the right. The Turritopsis follows the exact same path, but right at the moment where the story should end, it does something impossible. It reverts all the way back to its juvenile stage, turning that one-way street into a potentially endless loop. So, the billion-dollar question is, how? I mean, how does a fully grown animal literally turn back into a baby? Let's get into the mechanics of this great reversal. So what kicks this whole thing off? Well, sometimes it's stress, things like starvation, getting injured, or a sudden change in its environment. But here's the part that is just absolutely astonishing. A fully mature, healthy adult jellyfish doesn't even need a reason. It'll just do it spontaneously, even in perfect conditions. So this isn't just a panic button. It's a programmed part of its life. And here's the play-by-play of the physical transformation. First, you see the adult jellyfish, the medusa. It just contracts. It folds in on itself. Then, all its adult features, like its tentacles, start to break down and shrink away. It basically melts down until it becomes this little, simple ball of tissue, a cyst. From that cyst, it grows these root-like things called stolons, and then a brand new polyp colony forms, ready to start the whole cycle all over again, budding off new, genetically identical jellyfish. I mean, that physical change is just wild to think about. But the real secret, the real magic, is happening at the cellular level. This is where the fundamental rules of biology get completely rewritten. The secret sauce here is a process called transdifferentiation. Okay, now think about this. In most animals, including us, once a cell becomes, say, a skin cell or a muscle cell or a nerve cell, that's its job for life. Its fate is sealed. Transdifferentiation is the incredible ability for one of those specialized adult cells to completely reprogram itself and become an entirely different type of cell. It's like a muscle cell deciding to become a nerve cell. That's the level of biological alchemy we're talking about here. And hey, this isn't just some wild theory. The scientists who discovered this, Perrino and his team, they pinpointed this exact mechanism way back in 1996. And they made it clear. It's not stem cells doing all the work here. It's the fully specialized, differentiated adult cells that are making this unbelievable change. And you know how they figured this out? Through some really painstaking dissection in the lab. They discovered that to pull this off, the jellyfish needs a very specific recipe. It needs cells from both the outer skin of its bell and from its internal digestive system. You put those two types together, and they hold the complete instruction manual for starting life all over again. So you have the cellular reprogramming. It's incredible. But what does it all mean for the big picture? Well, it means this tiny little jellyfish can do something that is, quite simply, unparalleled in the entire animal kingdom. Let's go back to that original 1996 paper, because they did not mince words. They wrote that by reversing its life cycle, the Turritopsis is thus escaping death and achieving potential immortality. The scientists themselves called it what it is. This isn't just a long life, it's a biological escape hatch from death itself. And get this, you might be thinking, okay, this must be some rare fluke event, right? Nope, not at all. In their lab studies, what percentage of the healthy, mature jellyfish made the transformation? 100%. Every single one. This isn't a glitch in the system. This is the system.
And that brings us to the most mind-bending fact of all. This jellyfish is the only animal we know of that can grow up, become a sexually mature adult, and then just decide to become a kid again. It completely shatters that point of no return that we thought governed all of life. So the discovery of this one tiny creature completely changed our understanding of aging and death. It proves that the so-called one-way street of life isn't as absolute as we thought, which leaves us with a really fascinating final question. If one creature can do this, what other incredible secrets are still hiding in the playbook of life, just waiting for us to find them?